Hi everyone, I'm Sophia and I teach on the BSc Psychology programme. Thank you for coming along and I hope you've been enjoying Manchester whilst it's nice and sunny. Hi. So I've been at the university teaching on this programme for about 3 years now, and I'll be giving you an overview of the psychology degree here at Manchester. We might not have enough time for questions, but the psychology stand is available all day and the admissions assistant is there at the G. McFarlane building to answer any questions about entry requirements. We have some lovely student ambassadors over here and they're available if you have any questions about the degree, about Manchester or accommodation. So, welcome to Manchester. For those of you who don't know Manchester very well, I have to say that the city of Manchester is extremely vibrant and just a generally incredible city. As you would expect in any major UK city, there's an enormous range of things that you can enjoy in your spare time, whether that's sports, eating out, the architecture, shopping, libraries and museums and so on. Our campus is the UK's largest single-site university. We're located right in the centre, the heart of the city, and of course we've got 2 universities on Oxford Road, so there's a really strong student vibe. Hopefully you get a chance to explore everything because there's so much to do. We have amazing facilities on our large campus that help to support your learning and your health. We have over 10,000 PCs and you can access them at any point. We have 24/7 access to many of our buildings. We've got the 3rd largest academic library in the UK, and if you're interested in cultural things, we have on our campus the Manchester Museum, which is literally like through this arch. We've got our own state-of-the-art contact theatre. We've got the multi-award-winning Whitworth Art Gallery down the road. And we've got the John Rylands Library. So if you're into sport, we've got an extensive sports facility and we've got lots of fitness facilities, including squash courts, workout studios and 2 50-metre swimming pools. We've got numerous gyms all around the city centre. And if you want to make some new friends whilst you're here, we've got the students' unions and loads of different societies that you can join. We've even got a Quidditch society, so you can see the kind of range we have. We've got the Manchester Academy, who put on loads of music events and gigs, and we've got a variety of facilities that you can make use of when you're here as a student. So, we've recently celebrated our 100th anniversary of teaching psychology at Manchester. That makes us the oldest psychology department in the country. That means we've got over 100 years' experience producing high-quality psychology graduates. So I'd like to think we've gotten pretty good at it. Importantly, we're a member of the Russell Group, which is a consortium of leading British research universities. This means we focus on cutting-edge research, innovation and teaching excellence. You are taught by world-leading experts in the field and all your lecturers are highly qualified academics. Particularly on the psychology degrees, all our lecturers have PhDs in their teaching and research areas, which range from mental health, neuroscience, memory, language and dementia. As well as being a great academic course, we also pride ourselves in supporting our students throughout their degree. We have a thriving psychology society and we also have extremely supportive staff and academic tutors, and that's something I'll come back to and discuss in more detail later. So overall, I could keep going on about how great our uni is and how great the psychology course is, but the ratings can support that because we're consistently in the top 10 UK universities and we have ranked the 6th best UK university for several years now. Our course is also accredited by the British Psychological Society. This is something that is essential if you want a career in psychology. So the BPS accreditation is a key thing that you need if you want to be working in a psychology-related career. And then, of course, we are accredited, but if you wish to have a degree in psychology, the BPS have said that they've given us excellent feedback for our course in particular. Okay, so to talk about the structure of the course, in year 1, you take 10 different psychology units, and they give you a really good basic foundation in psychology. They introduce you to a wide number of perspectives in psychology, and you might be new to psychology or you might have studied it before, but year 1 gives you the basic training across the spectrum of psychology, and I'll touch on some of these units later on. In year 1, most of the units are compulsory, except for 1 unit in the 2nd semester, which you have the option to swap out. The majority are compulsory because it's important that you have the training across the variety of psychology modules, but you do have that chance to swap 1 module out for a language unit if that's something that interests you. so you can choose to do that. In year 2, you get a bit more autonomy. So here you can drop 2 psychology units if you want to and choose 2 different units from about 30 that are that are offered centrally across the university. So just to give you an insight into some of these additional options, we have forensic medicine, an introduction to British Sign Language, security and surveillance, innovation for sustainable society, leadership and action, and a lot more modern languages. We also have a unit that's the search for extraterrestrial life, which might be interesting to some of you. So you can really start to tailor your degree in the second year, and you can swap out units that might not be your favourite in place of units that can broaden your education and expand your CVs. There is, of course, an optional study for your third year, which can be an optional study abroad or a placement year to make a degree a 4-year degree, which I'll be coming back to later on because it's a great option. In your final year, which is year 3 for most students, but if you take a study abroad or a work placement, then it's year 4, you'll focus your learning a lot more in depth by having just 4 units. However, 2 of those units can be external units, so some of the ones that I mentioned before, but you also have an addition of 20 courses offered from the Manchester Business School, which include marketing, human resources, people management and change. And then you have to do a final year research project, which is a dissertation. Okay. So just to give you a little more detail about how we've organised the degree then, we have split the degree into 4 key themes, and they broadly represent the modern discipline of psychology. With each theme, you have key specific modules. So the first theme is evolution and development, and this is all about how humans develop from infancy through adolescence and then into old age, with these units that are introduction to developmental psychology and lifespan and aging. Then we have mind and brain, which is all about how we interpret and process information. So these units include things like brain and behavior and cognition. The third unit is psychology and society, where you learn all about social psychology, which studies how people interact with each other and how it shapes our interpersonal behavior. And the final unit is adaptability and well-being, where it's all about your physical and mental well-being, and the modules focus on the foundations of health psychology and foundations of mental health. Okay. So throughout the 3 years, you'll have modules from all 4 themes, and as you progress, you build on the content from each unit. So in year 1, you have the introductory units across all 4 themes, and then on top of that, you have some cross-cutting units. You have research methods and statistics, where you'll gain the skills required to conduct and analyse research. And then we show you the process from literature reviews to designing a study, to collecting data, and then analysing these results. You also have professional development, which is a cross-cutting unit about your study skills, which includes supporting your study at university, like adapting your essay writing skills, how to reference, and then you move on in semester 2 to start thinking a bit about your career and the different options you have with a psychology degree. So from the outset, we really start to think about supporting your professional development and what careers you can go into. In year 2, the same themes that I discussed previously continue, but the modules develop from year 1. And the content is a bit more in depth, so it gives you a deeper understanding of each area of psychology. In year 2, again, you have that bit more autonomy, where it might be that you love some aspects of psychology more than others, and some aspects aren't really for you. So that's fine, and because psychology is a broad discipline, you have that option to swap out 2 modules for external units. Again, we have some cross-cutting modules that you have to take part in, which really deepen your understanding of statistics and data analysis skills, as well as giving you a real focus on career management by having a specific module dedicated to it. And we're really keen to support your employability, and so I will talk more about these career modules shortly. And then your final year, you will take 4 modules of your choosing, and you get to choose the modules in the areas that interest you most, and 2 of which can be external units. You'll work closely with a member of staff on a project that you design, and then you conduct and write an original piece of research, and that will be your final research project. That means in your third year, it can really be tailored to your interests. Students do research in a broad range of areas across psychology, from like juror decision-making, to sleep quality and psychosis, to the perceptions of feminism and gender roles. So the British Psychological Society and our external examiners who moderate our degree have come in every few years to check the level of the degree and have really, really praised the high quality and scope of our students' work. And every year, some of our students produce such high quality work that it gets published in academic journals. Okay. So you're probably wondering how you will learn at our university if you study with us here, and I'm sure the student ambassadors can answer some questions specifically at the end. So all course units involve lecture material. This is basically the main framework where we give you the key ideas and knowledge that you need, but this is where the lecturers provide that key information about the topic. And then we run the tutorials and seminars with small groups of students so that we can offer you tailored support and interact with you so that you have that support and to help each and every one of you individually with your learning. So in years 1 and 2, you can expect about 10 hours of lecture material, a couple of hours a week of research classes where we train you in doing original research, collecting data, designing and writing up experiments. Then you have about 3 hours of seminars every fortnight where you work through that material from the lecture content with our support. You also have some fantastic research and statistics classes, which are about a couple of hours a week, in which you will practice the things that you've learned from the stats lecture content and work through examples with support from our staff. Beyond that, there's also group work and independent study for you to work on the coursework throughout the year, so essays and lab reports. In your third year, there's less lecture content, but there's more seminars and reading groups. And you'll also have regular meetings with your supervisor about your final year project, so you'll be working on that. Basically, it isn't just lecture content. There's a variety of sessions to support you throughout your degree. So you might be wondering how we assess you on the course. We do have a variety of assessment methods from exams and essays that you might be familiar with, but we also have research lab reports, scientific posters, and online blogs. We use this wide range of assessment to really give you the chance to develop lots of new skills which are useful for you now on the degree and also later in terms of further study or getting a job. Now, we know when you come to us for the first time, you're just starting out at university, so we give you the whole of first year where marks don't count towards your final degree classification. And that's just for a chance to get you to settle in, and we can train you in the skills so that you know what you need and what we want from you to give you that space to learn those skills and ideas for your second and third year. However, you do need to pass first year. It just doesn't count towards your final degree classification. The second year of your degree is when your marks really start to count. It's worth a third of your final degree, and then your third year, when we've really had a chance to train and support you, is worth 2/3 of your degree, and that's where your marks really contribute. So one thing that I think we do really well, apart from delivering fantastic teaching, is that we offer you a lot of support. We know that coming to university can bring lots of challenges, and we know that some of you might be a bit more confident than others, and that we know that some of you may have certain strengths that others don't, and you might be stronger in certain areas. So throughout the degree, you have a personal academic advisor who you meet with at least twice a semester, so 4 times a year. And you can meet them more often if you wish. There are 3 main ways that they can support you. So in terms of pastoral support, there's someone, your academic advisor is a person that you can turn to if something goes wrong, and everything is confidential. They help talk things through with you, and they can direct you to more relevant resources and support services if necessary. They'll keep an eye on your academic progress, and they'll review marks with you, and they can talk to you about your learning strategy and help you make improvements. They can also discuss course options with you, which modules you want to choose, if you're having difficulties with deciding between a few. They can discuss your career planning with you, which is general future planning, and then we take this very seriously because it's really important for you to have this support and a person to turn to throughout your degree. We want to ensure that you feel like you have that member of staff to turn to, and they're available to meet and speak online or via email, in person when possible, or even over the phone. Okay, so I said that I'd come back to the career modules that I mentioned before. One of the options is that you can take in your second year of your degree is a short work placement. This is a 30-hour work placement where you can go off and work with an organisation. It might be with a psychologist or an academic or something totally different like an advertising agency. It's completely up to you what you want to do your placement in. And we decided to build employability into the programme and give students a module over both semesters in second year to really focus on this rather than you being expected to find that time elsewhere. We really want to support your career and your career development throughout the degree, and this module is a fantastic asset to our degree that can help you boost your employability. So you have the choice to do this module in year two, and you also have the choice to do a career placement for the whole year, which would be between years 2 and years 3. We have great careers team to help you get that placement, and they can help you get placements in a number of organizations. So it might be that you get a placement doing external research to the university. So we have students that have done placements in working as researchers at the Great Ormond Street Institute of Child Health, or you might get experience researching within the university itself. So some examples are, we've got students working in the Lucid Child Study Centre, and we've also got students working in our Centre for Health. Alternatively, students do placements in corporate areas, such as human resources and in a range of marketing companies. It really does get the students to think about their careers before the end of their degree by having this dedicated module, and it's something that we're proud to offer that is integrated into the degree. So as I've said, you don't have to look for your own placement. We support all students in getting a placement. The other option that you can consider is doing a year abroad after you finish your second year and before you start your final year. So again, this is an amazing opportunity, and it turns your degree into a 4-year degree. You get support throughout your year abroad, and the idea is that you'll go to an English-speaking university, such as the University of California, Massachusetts, Maryland, Toronto, British Columbia, Queensland, or you can go to Madrid in Spain, where they all teach psychology in English. So you'll be studying psychology for a year abroad. It's very beneficial to lots of students. Not only do they really enjoy that experience, but they gain lots of additional life skills through their time away. Okay. So just to say as well that our uni-level career service is fantastic. We have recently won the award for Best University for Graduate Employment. We put on a range of fairs and opportunities for you to work on your career and to really support you and ensure your options are as wide as possible. More specific to our program, hopefully you can see that we have really dedicated time from the outset that you can work on your professional development and your career so that you are building up experience as you go along. As well as the career dedicated modules alongside your psychology content, we work closely with the careers team and the career service who can help you with designing your CV and skills portfolio to best prepare you for the job market. We run things like alumni panels where we bring back graduates to speak with you and share their experiences from a variety of fields. So there's lots of types of support, like the summer internships. Okay, so thinking about different career pathways then, there's really a huge range of career options. There's so much you can do with a psychology degree from Manchester. Around 25 to 30% of our students will become professional psychologists. So that means they continue to go on and train to become an educational psychologist, a clinical psychologist, a health psychologist, or an occupational psychologist. Also, many of our graduates use their psychology degree in more applied contexts and have a range of excellent careers across a range of sectors such as advertising, HR, journalism, business and management, the police, teaching, and charity work. So psychology is highly applicable in a number of domains. It's actually one of the most in-demand degrees amongst the top employers because of the skills you acquired during your time on the course. So the typical A-level offer is we require 3 A's, including 1 or more of psychology, biology, human biology, chemistry, physics, statistics, maths, further maths, or applied science. So if you have any questions about our entry requirements, please look online or speak to our admissions administrators today at the stand in the G. McFarlane building, or contact this email address. Okay. So I want to briefly go over our cognitive neuroscience and psychology course, which is a completely separate degree program to the psychology course that I just went over. This course combines major topics such as experimental psychology and neuroscience, and it offers a broad grounding in this exciting field of behavioural science. So on this course, you do some of the same psychology modules that I've mentioned before, such as brain behaviour, cognition, but then you do half your modules in year 1. and then the rest will be introducing you to the biological sciences, such as the nervous system and specific cognitive neuroscience modules. You'll also learn data handling and laboratory skills, which are required for all biological scientists, and you will do a final year research project like they do on the normal psychology degree. You also have the same placement and study abroad options as the single honours psychology degree, and this is also accredited by the British Psychological Society. Okay, so we require, again, the grades of AAA to AAB. Those applicants who are predicted to have achieved A's in 2 of the following subjects, biology, chemistry, physics, and maths, which are the core sciences, would be considered for an offer of AAB, provided that the 3rd subject is predicted as a grade B. Again, if you have any more questions, our admissions team is available at the psychology stand in the G. McFarlane building. Okay. So if you have any further questions, it might be really useful for you to hear from current students on our degree right now. So at any time, you can go to our UniBuddy site and speak to students and ask any questions you might have. We also have a few student ambassadors ready here to answer some of your questions, and we have some students available at the psychology stand. We have a bit of time, so I'll open up to questions, and thank you guys for coming along. I think it might be difficult for me to hear your questions, so it might be better if you come down and come and ask us all questions. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed your time. I hope you enjoyed the talk. Thank you.